Revenge films.
I'm sure most women experience a period, but mine are particularly awful, to the point where I was diagnosed with a condition called dysmenorrhea, and I would have to go to the doctor frequently for it. The worst would be the second day of the period. It would hurt so much that I felt like I would be losing my sanity, and there wasn't any medicine that could really help, so I would often have to stay home from work from the pain. But fortunately, my workplace had a lot of women in leadership positions, and they were very understanding about the situation. However, the person who I wanted to understand me the most, my boyfriend Chad, wouldn't try to understand my pain whatsoever.
Every girl gets a period, right? Aren't you being dramatic?
And he never had any sympathy. Then, one day, when I was at home like a zombie rolled over from my period pains, my boyfriend suddenly showed up to my house. Is this a joke? The night before, I had actually been asked to go on a date with him today, but I was feeling so unwell that I declined. As he came into my room,
Hey, can't you just do something about that already?
"What?"
The way that you pretend not to be feeling well? It's honestly really annoying. What are you gonna do when we get married and have kids? Are you planning on just leaving it all? Because you're in pain?
I'm not pretending. I really am struggling. And plus, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. There's a possibility that when I give birth, it'll help alleviate some of the period pains. I don't know that, but I'm not lying about the pain or the suffering.
You can get up and go. You're just being too dramatic all the time. Now hurry up.
Even though I was so pale as I dragged my feet, it made me realize that he really wasn't looking at me at all. He wouldn't tell me where we were going to go, but Chad was in a great mood as we drove in his car. I wanted to be able to get home as quickly as possible today when we arrived at a certain house. Where are we?
My parents' house.
What? Your parents' home?
The other day, I was telling them how it might be time for marriage soon. So my mom told me to bring you.
Of course, this was going to be my very first time meeting his mother. Not only that, but he brought me here unannounced on a day when I wasn't feeling well, and I went into a small panic. What do I do? I haven't even brought any gifts, and I wasn't thinking about what I'm wearing at all either. Without paying any mind to any of that, Chad skipped over towards his house. There was nothing I could do about it at this point, so I followed after Chad and went to the house.
Hey, Mom, I'm home.
Oh dear, welcome back. It's very nice to meet you. I have the pleasure of dating your son, Chad. My name is Sarah. As I greeted her, Chad's mother looked me up and down and said out loud, "Interesting, she seems like a very average girl," as she turned around and went back inside. When we got into the house, Chad's father was also sitting there. Unlike the mother, his father was very friendly to me, and I let out a breath of relief. However, that didn't mean that I was going to suddenly feel better, and unfortunately, the medicine wasn't working much either, so I was in a slightly anemic state. Despite how obviously pale I was, Chad's mother turned to me, and even though it was my first time meeting her, she was using me left and right and giving me orders. "Sarah, would you mind washing up the dishes? And when you're done with that, I want you to vacuum this room and the other room." What? You want me to vacuum? That's right. Now hurry up and get to it, please. I know that we were the ones that showed up here, but I wasn't even a daughter-in-law and I was getting ordered around. I was shocked.
When we get married, you're going to listen to whatever my mom tells you to. Like this, all right?
He said to me. I told you that I wasn't feeling well because of my period today, didn't I? I was furious on the inside, but I wasn't able to say anything back given where I was, so all I could do was oblige. The more I was moving around, the more my stomach started to hurt even more, so... I'm very sorry. Would it be okay if I take a little rest? My stomach is in a lot of pain from my period. Oh yes, I've heard about this from Chad. Apparently, you're always complaining about your period and asking for special treatment. No, I'm not complaining. I really have a medical condition. Oh dear, calling a period a medical condition. What a lazy woman you are. I can't say you're fitting for my Chad then, and if you're planning on marrying to this family, it's going to be a problem if you're this lazy. I was at a loss for words at what Chad's mother was saying to me. I had reached my limit, so I said, I'm very sorry. I feel so very terrible about this, but I'm not feeling well, so I'll be excusing myself for today.
What? What are you thinking? Read the room.
I'm very sorry, but I've reached my limit. That was when Chad's father thankfully chimed in.
Chad, Sarah isn't feeling well, so you should let her go home. I'm very sorry, Sarah. Please be careful on your way home.
I walked out of Chad's house and he came after me, nagging at me, but I didn't turn around nor reply. I was just so sad and upset, and my stomach hurt, and I wanted to be horizontal as soon as possible.
That's enough. Do what you want, but I'm not driving you home.
Chad really did leave me there, so I mustered up all of my strength to transfer through the trains and get back to my house. Afterwards, I got a message from Chad.
Let's break up. My mom said that a woman like you, who has a heavy period, probably has some kind of STD, and that it's proof you used to sleep around. You were fooling me, weren't you?
That was the first message. I was so over it that there was nothing I could say. But I also realized that Chad was just a mama's boy who told his mom everything, and I no longer had any feelings for him whatsoever. I simply replied, "Sure, goodbye." I thought I was able to cut off ties with him with that, but afterwards, Chad went around to our mutual friends and acquaintances, telling everybody that the reason why we broke up was because I was an extremely lazy person, that I would not show up to dates, and that I wouldn't even go to work and always be taking time off. As the cherry on top, he was spreading rumors that I was a slut that was hiding how many people I had slept with. This was a man that I thought I might marry, but he never once tried to understand me, and I was furious with the lies that he was spreading. But I knew that my real friends believed me, and I just wanted nothing to do with him anymore. "Everything will be fine. We know who you are, Sarah, and we'll tell everybody the truth, so you don't need to worry about it." "That's right. I'm just glad that you were able to break up with such a terrible mama's boy before you got married." My friends came to my side and cheered me up. A few months later, I heard through the grapevine that my ex-boyfriend Chad would be getting married. It turns out that Chad began dating a woman he met shortly after. Within 2 months, they were going to have a shotgun wedding. However, a few months after that, one day I got a phone call, an emergency alert. Of course, I didn't answer the phone, but from morning until night, and even while I was at work, the phone kept ringing, so I decided to answer just once. Unfortunately, the person calling was Chad. "Hello? What do you want?"
You finally answered! Hey, listen to this! I got married because my girlfriend said she was pregnant, but that pregnancy was a lie!
"Oh, really? Is that so?"
And then she said that she had some kind of disease that she got a few years ago, and that she can't get pregnant anymore!
What does this have anything to do with me? According to him, his mother was so excited about having a grandchild that he forced the wife to go to the hospital with her, and that's when they discovered that she wasn't actually pregnant. After that, she explained everything to them, and Chad's mother was furious, or something like that. "So, why are you telling me about this? This is none of my business anymore."
This is your business! Be happy! It means that I'll happily get remarried to you!
Excuse me?
Aren't you happy? I was thinking that you were probably regretting it right around now. And my mom said that if you're going to have a grandchild, that, as a special reward, she would forgive you for everything in the past. Well, when we get married, we're obviously going to live with her, but you'll get to learn all kinds of things from my mom, so you're fine with that, right?
Don't make me laugh. I forgot about you a long time ago, and I've been living so much better without you. Who would ever want to marry some mama's boy who's so obsessed with his mom?
I'm giving you a second chance and saying that I'll forgive you. What kind of a tone is that?
And also, I have a boyfriend anyway. He asked me out recently, and we were happy together. He's very considerate about my health, and he's really nice.
Are you kidding me? Just because I wasn't around? What do you think you're doing?
You're the one that's married. What are you saying? Oh, and by the way, I've been recording this whole conversation, so I'll send it to your wife later.
Stop it! Do you know what's going to happen if you do that?
I know, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I hung up, and just as I said, I sent the recording to his wife, including how he yelled at me and how many times he rang, and apparently it's turned into a super muddy divorce, and they are both suing each other. On top of that, my friends made sure to tell everybody that the real reason we broke up was because of his lack of sympathy for my medical condition, and how he and his mother cornered and shamed me, and my name was cleared, and in turn, Chad's reputation plummeted. Apparently the mom is shunned around the neighborhood as well. His wife won in court, and I heard he now has to pay the settlement fee to her and is also ostracized at work, and he's living a sad life. He's getting what he deserves.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.